Okay, so just a quick update. To be honest, I haven't really made much progress. I've been trying to get my air braking system working, but yeah, that it's just gonna. I've been trying to do this for months now. I just can't get it to work how I want it to. But I've what I have done is I might just go through a little bit of how my conversation system operates. I haven't created this myself. This was actually by Pixel Crushers. It's the same dialogue system that was used in Disco Elysium and amongst other titles as well. And it's a node-based conversation system. So here we are. We've got the different actors, and so the actor would be the person given the quest. In this case, it's my dude with the Bass Pro Shot Chocker Cat, and the conversant is actually the player character. So basically, the blue are the player characters, end denotes the end of the conversation. These numbers here I have allocated a kind of a referencing system for this, because I'm going to have quite a lot of dialogue in this game for what is basically a Stranding-like Frogger game. So think a little bit like Death Stranding, where you're delivering cargo from point A to point B, but the main gameplay element is, well, I can quickly show you, I suppose. Where is it? Sorry, because I'm looking at a computer, and I'm also looking at my phone, and I'm also looking at the TV. So let's just save this first before I do anything. Which is it? I can't remember what one it is, but I think it might be, no, test scene is what we're actually currently in at the moment. Scene 1, I believe, is the one I want, I think. Yes, okay, so the general idea is I want to take my cargo and I need to, I'll just back up into that a little bit and collect the cargo, and I need to take my cargo to the top here. Oh shit, and I just crashed into these objects. Collisions all over the place. I mean, you've probably seen this before. But the idea is that you basically have to avoid, obstacles. Basically, Frogger, the arcade game. I kind of came about that a while back. I didn't realise that I was basically making Frogger. Okay, so I've got a scene here, and this is my test area. I've got like this grid here, just so I know, so I can kind of gauge speed. For some reason, the font has gone very small there for the cargo, and I've kind of got like a mock target here. So if I go to the scene, I show you here, and go up to the top. That red dot is basically the target, and that is what the yellow arrow is pointing towards, which is above the player game object, which is the spaceship. And that cargo container there. We've got a fully functioning and working distance, so it's in kilometers. So it tells you exactly how far the red container is from the red dot. All well and good. Yeah, I've activated the cursor. Yeah, I kind of have in my script here. I've got cursor visible is false. I've commented it out so that it so I can just see the cursor. But if I activate that again, basically what that means is that the cursor, you won't be able to see it on the screen. I still got my old air brake system here. Very simple. What it does, it changes the vector 2 to 0, 0. So what it does, it takes a rigid body and the velocity of that, and then what it does, it amends it to 0, 0. So on the X and Y axis, it just freezes it in place. fast forward here, got my collisions, etc. But I mean, this is just a recap, really. But the movement, I am very much liking the movement now. I am a big fan of this movement, and I like the way that you can pick objects up, and my strafing is a little bit more quicker, more responsive. And yeah, I quite like this. It's pretty good. What I need to do is I just need to obviously get my air brake system. That's been a massive issue for me. See, okay, I'm way beyond where I need to be. I've got no means of being able to tell where I am. There's no actual map or anything like that. So if I just go up here a little bit, and then yeah, now I can activate. As soon as I hit collision, the conversation starts between the player and the actor, which in this case is Mr. Bass Pro Shops dude. Again, like you just see these here. This is just placeholder. Like we're going the dialogue. I haven't thought of what I need to put here. I have actually started writing a script for this, not a C# script, but an actual script for the dialogue. And yeah, it's quite extensive, especially when you get multiple choices. Kind of bitten off a lot more than I can chew. I think it's yeah, it's going to take me a while. I think the general idea is there's going to be a scene at the beginning of each mission. So you and then you have to pick up the cargo. You talk to characters, collect the cargo, and then you have to avoid obstacles to get to the destination where you need to drop off the cargo. In my mind, I want it to have as many missions as there are planets in the solar system. Like the idea is that you go from like the moon to Mars, and then like Mars to like Jupiter, Saturn, etc. And I'll even include Pluto, even though it's not really a planet anymore. So I will include that at some point. But yeah, there's a lot of work that I need to do. There's a lot of assets I need to create. As you can see in that previous scene here, I mean, ignore these white boxes. These are actually just collision. But yeah, this is supposed to be inside like a space dock, similar to like, in Star Trek, they've got that huge big mushroom space station. And yeah, so we got that. And we got the working strip lights, which look quite nice. I think they overlap the player. I am not sure. I mean, I know, and it's a little bit slow here because I haven't, oh, for fuck's sake. What I want to do is see the strip lights. I really need to, I'm going to go across. Oh yeah, I go over. Yeah, so I need to change the layer of that. Oh, you might have been able to see that. And there is I can shoot lasers from that as well. Whoa, I've gone through the teleporter. Because I've got teleporting, like, I've got collision on either side. And basically what happens is, if you go from that side, you'll end up appearing on this side. So you kind of teleport from left to right and right to left. It gives the impression that you're in like vast, huge, big space. This is more like a recap video for myself, just so I know what I need to do. Because I do actually watch these back, sadly. And yeah, dialogue is taking a while to write, and also doing the artwork, because obviously I'm doing all the art myself. Even character portraits. It looks like I've just kind of copied that from somewhere, but I actually have drawn these. These things here. I've actually drawn this myself. I'm not actually a manga artist or anything like that. But I do have some level of art abilities, I guess. So yeah, most of it is kind of like copying and tracing over existing stills from 1980s anime. So that's the aesthetic I'm trying to go for. It's a 1980s vibe, basically. And that's kind of what I'm aiming for this. Death Stranding meets Frogger. That's meets 80s anime, I guess. That's the thing. UI, I need to. I want to have a better UI. I was thinking that maybe like what you're looking at is kind of like what the main character's looking at on a screen. So it's kind of like it's not real per se. It's not what the reality of the game is. It's like she's looking at the computer interpretation of what the environment is. So that's why everything kind of looks a bit pixel art. That's the idea I've got for that. But yeah, I've talked way too much. I'm going to get back to do a load more writing. So that's my plan.